Because accessibility is so broad and the usership is so diverse, we're going to need a roadmap to guide us on our journey. Throughout this course, we'll be referring to WCAG, or the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines 2.0. WCAG is a set of guidelines and best practices which have been put together by accessibility experts to try and answer the question of what accessibility means in a methodical way. Several countries actually mandate the use of these guidelines in their web accessibility legal requirements. WCAG is organized around 4 core principles. The first is making sure users can perceive content. This helps us keep in mind that just because something is perceivable with one sense, such as sight, that doesn't mean that all users can perceive it. Second, is it operable? Can users use UI components and navigate the content? For example, something which requires a hover interaction cannot be operated by someone who can't use a mouse or is using a touchscreen. Third, can users understand the content? Also, can all users understand the interface, and is it consistent enough to avoid confusion? And finally, is it robust enough for the content to be consumed by a wide variety of user agents? And does it work with assistive technology? Together, this forms POUR. While WCAG provides an extremely comprehensive set of guidelines to help us keep many facets of accessibility in mind, it can also be a bit overwhelming. To help mitigate this, the WebAIM group has distilled the WCAG guidelines down into an easy-to-follow checklist targeted specifically for web content. The WebAIM checklist can give you a short, high-level summary of what you need to implement, while also linking to the underlying WCAG specifications if you need an expanded definition. Both WCAG and the checklist cover a lot of the accessibility space, but guidelines can only ever be a limited proxy for actual accessibility. What actually matters is the user experience, not just checking some box. So while these guidelines give us a framework for thinking about accessibility, there may be places where they're incomplete or even give advice which is a little out of date. However, they're still an excellent resource for helping us integrate accessibility into our process. With these tools in hand, we can chart a direction for our accessibility work and be confident that so long as our project is meeting the outlined criteria, our users should have a positive experience.